So it never fails when I'm working with an organization in their public speaking or presentation skills. I will look at them at some point during the 1 or 2 day course and I will literally say, breathing is important. And they look back at me with an earnest face of, are we really paying you to say that? Look, everybody knows that breathing is critical to life, but it is foundational to public speaking. We're going to talk about that. Welcome, I'm Jer, that training guy with Hull Training Solutions Institute. Just thrilled that you're here. Absolutely thrilled. Thanks for joining us. So number 1 in our series of 5 musts in presentations or public speaking is breathing is important. Let's look at 2 areas. The first area is why it's needed. Now we know it's needed for life, but there are 3-4 areas as to why we really need to breathe in a presentation. Number 1, it makes the brain work. Neat how that really relates to life as well, right? Makes the brain work. We've all been in a presentation where maybe things go awry. They're not going the way we want them to. We're getting pelted with questions. We got the grumpy people, and it'd be easy to lose your place. In fact, when people tell me I lose my place often, it's one of 2 reasons. And one of those reasons, probably not breathing. You see, breathing does make the brain work. If you're not breathing, the brain's not getting enough oxygen, and then you freeze up. You're not able to think. You're not able to find your place in your notes. Oh, right? You're not able to answer the questions. Please never do that in a presentation because they were not waxing on, waxing off. Oh my goodness. But breathing will make your brain work and let you respond, or maybe come up with a crafty response to not respond to a question. The second area as to why breathing is important is that it helps you with your area of nerves. Yeah. A lot of times I see well-meaning organizations in my field or coaches who guarantee they can take all the nerves away in a presentation or in a public speech. Well, maybe they can for some presentations. But I've been doing this for a lot of years in front of a lot of people. And there have been moments that I'm like, okay, I really need this to go well because it's a pilot, and from this may be other offerings to this company, and and the nerves kick in. Well, when my nerves kick in, guess what happens to my breathing? Yep, it goes shallow. So what do? I become cognitive, if I can say that word, of the breathing, and I breathe more, thereby reducing my stress. So breathing can help you some with your nerves. When you're not breathing, the emotions increase. As well, breathing, well, it creates a natural conversational flow to your public speaking. There's an old adage in music, ready? The music is in the silence. Now, we're not just talking about the power of the pause. We're talking about a conversational manner of speaking that engages people. Because we've all seen this person in our personal life.
I was like, oh my goodness, you can't do that. I mean, it's lunchtime and there's no way that we have time to go.
Right? And they never take a breath and let anyone else into the dialogue. Well, look, public speaking is a dialogue. It's just sometimes a dialogue with 10 people, 12 people, or in some cases 1,200 people or more. When you breathe, it creates a conversational style. Music is in the silence that engages people and lets people feel as though you're talking with them. Final thing as to why it's important outside of, living clear, it will help you support your voice. One of our videos, we're going to talk about thrust of the voice, as I call it. Some people call it projection. Well, if you're not breathing, your voice volume is going to drop. When that happens, studies show us credibility drops. So we want your voice at a level where we can hear you. If we can't hear you, it doesn't matter how good or engaging you are. And microphones amplify. They don't project. So if you're breathing at a conversational manner within your presentation, then your projection, your volume is going to stay like this and not be like the balloon that slowly fades away. So you need to breathe. But the $1 million question is, how do you breathe? Don't click off yet, because we're not just talking about, we're talking about how you breathe in a presentation. So let's think about breathing before the presentation begins. You're sitting there at the conference table, you're backstage maybe, you're on the phone call, whatever the case may be. You know it's going to be your time to present. Well, you should be very cognitive of your breathing. And then there's some very important breaths to take before you even open your mouth. right before they call your name or right at the last 2 sentences of the presenter before you, whatever the case is, you take a deep breath. Just take a breath. Slowly exhale. Get rid of the nerves. And then as you're sitting up or as you're walking forward, you take a second breath. So did you catch that? Before you even sit up, before you even stand up to speak, you take a breath because you're sitting there and you know your time's coming. And then when you stand up to walk forward or sit up to present, you take a second breath. This second breath is just simply to do what the first breath did once more. And then you take your third breath. Your third breath will support that opening hook, that opening sentence, the question or startling fact, whatever you're using that will grab their attention. That third breath should be enough to support those very first 2 sentences, 3 sentences, and then take a fourth breath. And now you're going to be golden. So how do we breathe? Well, one final thing. When you go to the doctor, what does the doctor say? Take a deep breath. And what do? And you look like a blowfish. Stop it. We breathe with our diaphragm. The diaphragm supports the oxygen in the lungs, which then makes the throat work so much better. We've all seen politicians or big speakers who keep losing their voice. Well, I've done it too. A lot of it's because we have so much energy and we stop breathing with our diaphragm. So you want to breathe with your gut, not with your lungs. Now this is going to take more practice than the other strategies or anything else on breathing. How do you do it? Well, first off, before your presentation, I mean the night before. Don't do this on the conference room floor. The night before, you lay down on the floor and you take a magazine and put it right, somewhere about where your diaphragm is, or as we used to say in high school choir, your diaphragm. Yeah, it wasn't funny then either. You take your magazine, you put it right here on around your top of your belly, and then you practice breathing in a way that makes that magazine move up and down. You see, your posture will be straight, hopefully, because you're back on the floor, and that will make the magazine move up and forward and begin strengthening these muscles. Now look, if you're presenting virtually, then before you get on camera or the phone call, you can do this on your office floor. Totally up to you. But what you want to do is even go to Google or other YouTube videos, and maybe I'll put some of those in the comments, that will give you some diaphragm breathing exercises. This will help when you breathe with your diaphragm, support your voice, not make it sound like the balloon is going out of air. And also, once again, you'll get a deeper breath, which helps you with the stress and the nerves of presenting. Would love for you to say, this is a strategy I'm using first, Jer, when it comes to breathing. Or maybe there's other ideas that you've come across that you have found helpful that I didn't mention in this video. Subscribe. We'd love to have you. See you soon. I'm out. You know what? I'd give you a virtual hug. Come on, bring it in. Way over there for lunch, because if we go all the way over there for lunch, we will never get back in time. We don't get back in time. Ah!